Back to Microsoft, which announced today it's planning to give its Windows 8 platform a facelift. The tune-up will not actually be released to consumers and businesses until later this year. But what does it mean for the future of the company and, of course, for Steve Ballmer? Time for a boss of all segments. Our favorite, Bill George, former Medtronic chairman, CEO, and a Harvard Business School professor. Bill, good to have you back. Good morning to you.
Carl, good to be back with you.
You have said for the better part of a year it is time for this company to lay out a clear succession plan. Is the heat on Ballmer because of Windows 8, or is the heat off of Ballmer because of how the stock's done over the last couple of weeks?
Well, I don't think it's off. I think you can't look at the short-term stock movement. You've got to look at a decade of a flat stock price. Microsoft, Carl, is struggling to come from the old, where they have this large, lucrative base of Office and Windows, to get into the new. And frankly, they've been a day late and a dollar short. And I think their transition to Windows 8 shows the struggles they're having. And I just think that it's really hard for some of these older tech companies to get into the new. You just talk about Google. They're a great example. If they're just coming about new idea after new idea after new idea, Apple, Amazon, you see the same things, Facebook. And I think that Microsoft needs to get into the game, but they're struggling. They should manage this older business as a lucrative cash cow, and they need to get into more exciting things like they have with Xbox. But they haven't done that. And frankly, Carl, I think high-tech companies need new leadership every decade. Bill Gates was a great role model.
What's magic about every 10 years, Bill?
Well, could be 10, could be 12, but I think the problem with a lot of tech companies, the founders tend to hang on too long. Steve's not the founder, but he's close to it, 30 years. And I think a transition makes a lot of sense to have new blood at the top, to come in with new ideas, new creativity. Look at what IBM did. They got trapped in their mainframes. They couldn't get out of it. Okay, they brought in new leadership. Sam Palmisano took the company to new heights by devising a strategy built around their core. I think Microsoft needs to do the same thing and think more like an ambidextrous company. On the right hand, you're managing the old. The left hand, you're managing the new. But get creative and have spawned a lot of creativity. They're spending the money in R&D, $10 billion a year. Yeah. They're producing a lot of profits, but they're not getting the growth that they ought to have.
Isn't it funny, Bill, you know, at least in media, we've seen companies really, as you say, try to separate their fast-growing businesses from their slow-growing businesses, in some cases trying to separate them formally with different classes of stock. Are you suggesting that Microsoft should actually split or just manage those two businesses in different ways at the same time?
I think manage it different ways at the same time. AOL, Time Warner stubbed their toe trying to merge the two. At Medtronic, we did that. We had the old line cardiovascular business, which is now showing great signs of new life in many ways, and we had all the new businesses managed as a group of business. I think they could do exactly the same thing, and I think that would give them the new energy to keep the old while growing the new, and I think that would give them the ability to really get that stock on fire and go forward and get the growth that all the investors are looking for, that they see from the other companies who are doing that, like Google.
Yeah. You know, Bill, if Kramer were here, he would say, do something regarding M&A that gets people's attention, buy a Netflix, which, given their cash position, would be easy to do in cash. Dangerous or not?
You know, it's all dangerous. Skype, everyone said they paid too much. I thought it was a good move. Yeah, I think buying some things gets you into new business, brings in that creative talent. They could use that kind of talent, like what Pixar did for Disney. So I think, yeah, bringing in some of that new talent, maybe located in a different place. Not everyone at Redmond, where there's kind of the Windows Office culture. They need to break out of that, as other corporations have done.
Yeah. Well said, Bill. Always love getting your insight. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Carl.
Bill George joining us, of course, boss of all segments from Minneapolis.